Good morning. Wanted to give you a quick rundown on how to model, or a couple of ways to model the pegs for the Solitaire peg game. So right here, you can see this is one that I already drew, and that's what we're going to show you how to do. And there's a couple of different ways that we could do this. And I'm going to start with the shaft right here, and our holes on that are going to be 1/8 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is draw a circle. I'm going to anchor it at 0, and I'm going to draw point 125, make sure it says diameter up here, hit enter. Now, we can do it straight or we can do it tapered. I like to have it tapered a little bit so that we know that it fits within the hole and that we can get it to fit somewhat snug. Now, with that, we can make this a little bit bigger, we can make the circle a little bit smaller. That's kind of up to you, and you may play around with a little bit to see what you like. So I'm going to switch to perspective now. And there's two different ways that we could make this tapered. One way is to click on it, go up here to the solid menu, down to extrude planar curve, and tapered. When we do that, we can see this looks fairly similar to what we've seen before when we normally do extrusion, but we have this draft angle section here. So I can change that. You can see right now this is tapered. I could change that. Let's go 5. See how it makes it real pointy. Let's try 3. Yeah, that gets a little too pointy. We'll drop it back to 2, I guess. Okay, right there. And then if you notice, it goes the opposite way. So the tapered end is up here on the top, and the wider end is down on the bottom. If we wanted to go the other direction, we can go draft angle. I'm going to go -2. And you see it gets bigger. And I could drag that either way. So that's something worth playing around with. So if I do 2, I'm going to set this to 0.75 inches tall, hit enter. There we go. Okay, now I've got a tapered peg. So that's one way we can do it. I'm going to move this out of the way. So I'm going to draw my first circle here for this one, anchored at 0, and I'm going to do slightly less than 0.125. So let's just go 0.1. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a second circle that is slightly larger than 0.125. So I'm going to go 0.135. And now I'm going to move this one. I'm going to switch back here, grab the bigger one. I'm going to go move. And again, I'm going to make it 3/4 of an inch tall. So move 0.75, like so. And what I've done is I've set the top and I've set the bottom. Now I can highlight those, and I can use the loft command, L-O-F-T, enter, hit enter again, and you can see it closes that. In this case, it makes it a surface. Okay, so if we choose to do that, then we need to add a planar curve to the top, or a planar surface, sorry, to the top and the bottom. So I'm going to click on this curve, surface, from planar curves. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. So hit enter, pick that one, enter, there we go. And then I'm going to join these so that I have, something's not quite right, into 3 open poly surfaces. So why didn't it like that? Planar surface, from this curve, enter. Let's try joining those again. Not sure why it's not wanting to join that. Oh, maybe because there's 2. Oh, because there's multiples there. There we go. There we go. Now it's a closed poly surface. Sorry about that. So we just drew this part of it, and then now to draw the head on there, We just need to figure out how big that's going to be, and we're going to use a similar thing. I have O snap set to center. We'll click on that, and we'll just drag it out a little bit bigger. It's kind of up to you how far you go. And then I'm going to extrude this one just straight up, and I'm going to go up 1/8 of an inch, 0.125, enter. Now I need to make these two 1, so I'm going to highlight them, and the command is Boolean Union. You can see that populates right there. And that should make it all 1. Now, if you're happy with square edges, feel free to stop there. What we probably want to do is rotate it that way for ease of 3D printing, so you have a bigger surface on the top, or on the bottom, sorry, and less support. Or, I like having things rounded, so the command for that would be fillet edge. Right here, fillet edge. Next radius, I'm going to try 5/100 of an inch. Let's see what that looks like. So I set the radius, click on the curve that I want to fillet, enter, enter. There we go, I like that. Do the same thing on the bottom. Again, it's totally up to you if you even want to do that. And then since I made those round, I'm going to go ahead and make this one round as well. So hit enter, select edges. This might be too big of a radius. Yep, that's too big of a radius. It's kind of crazy there. So we're going to hit enter. Next radius, let's go 25 thousandths, 0.25. Click on the curve, enter, enter. There we go. I like that one. That'll work. So then now what you would need to do, again, if we're going to 3D print, even with it rounded, I recommend that we set the top part here facing downward. We're going to need to make some copies of this, and it's a little bit easier to do in Rhino. You can do an array if you want. But make some copies, then we'll select that, file, export selected, export it as an STL, stereolithography, and take it to the 3D printer.